Buenas tardes, señoras y señores. Es muy agradable estar a esta conferencia sobre la gestión de desempeño social con ustedes esta tarde en el país tan bonito como Nicaragua, que hace mucha calor, no como en Polonia ahora, entonces me gusta mucho. Quería agradecer a Red Camif y al proyecto Misión para invitarme a este evento para compartir las experiencias de distintas IMFs y las redes. Me parece que es un inicio de un proceso de intercambio de estas experiencias entre América, África y Europa. Con permiso voy a hablar en inglés sobre nuestra experiencia de Europa Este, pero prometo que la próxima vez voy a hablar español. In my today presentation, I would like to focus on the experience in social performance management in Eastern Europe and Central Asia that Microfinance Center, which is a sister organization, I would say, to Red Camif, have gained over the last 7-10 years. So I will quickly give you an overview what Microfinance Center is, then I will talk about our experience in social performance and also how it has been evolving. And I would like to finish with a short summary of the state of art and key challenges, lessons learned from this process. So a few words about MFC. Basically, we are a Red Camif for Eastern Europe. We have over 100 members, which are mostly MFIs, so this is the difference. But also we work with local, like national networks, investors, donors, and policymakers that are working in our region. We've been working in the region since its very inception. The region is very young, about 13 years. And SPM, Social Performance Management, has been always our focus, firstly through projects on practitioner-led impact assessment and market research, through different initiatives to integrate social performance information into ongoing information monitoring processes, to what we call today management of social performance. So we go beyond just information reporting, having a nice report, showing it to our investors or to our staff, but really, thinking consciously and deliberately how to use this information for improving practice. So in the end, our clients benefit. Next slide, please. In terms of social performance management, I will be talking a little bit later about the process in which we apply to assist our members and other organizations that we work with. To mention like key products, because usually everybody asks, so what is your tool, right? So I thought it would be a good way to introduce the activities. We developed 5 years ago, also with help and cooperation of COPEME and Impact Consortium, two important tools that we use in social performance management. One is social audit tool, which is called quality audit tool. And second one is strategic management that integrates social performance perspective that uses balanced scorecard methodology. So we've been hearing a lot about it, and you can see that we have very similar approach to what is happening also in Central and Latin America in terms of it's quite young, 13 years. It's been very fast developing. Currently, we are around $18 billion and 6 million clients. There has been two waves of MFIs. The first one that started 10 years ago. They started as international NGO projects and then localized, commercialized, or like became independent institutions. Also, we observed in the last 5 years a new wave of totally commercial MFIs that were established after changes in legal environment that very often serve the same institutions that was established by international organizations were getting localized and more and more independent. For them, this process was a very good opportunity to reflect on their own mission, so what they really wanted to achieve, what are their social goals, how ambitious they want to be, and whether they want to continue with all the same framework as Laura presented in the morning, where social performance is defined as institutional mission translation into action in line with accepted goals of microfinance, social goals of microfinance. And whoever starts to work in social performance management, it seems like a very big work which talks about reaching target clients, meeting their needs, and also achieving social change in their mission. And when they started, it seems to be a lot of work. While the process we are moving together starts with general understanding what social performance is about, then we really put a lot of effort in terms of really evaluation of the institution through social audits, to better understanding how they are doing currently in terms of their social performance, to be able to really define what are their social goals and introduce necessary alignments and adjustments to their strategies and operations to deliver on what they want to achieve. In this process, what we observe that since it's such a wide topic, and usually after those evaluations to social audit, everybody is a little bit depressed because there are many weaknesses, and also there are a lot of strengths, but social responsibility as a way to start improvement of practices. These are usually better established MFIs, banks or bigger MFIs, which are predominantly commercially funded, and they focus on better practices in terms of responsibility to communities, staff, and protection of their clients. One of the examples that I wanted to show, next slide please, for this kind of MFIs is Partner, which is an institution in Bosnia. The country is very similar to Nicaragua, I would say, because they also are a small country, like 3 million people, while having 50 MFIs, used to experience very high growth. There have been institutions growing more than almost 60% for the last 10 years, with a lot of competition, a lot of growth, and a lot of risk for client over-indebtedness and competitive pressures. And these particular institutions, while they have social missions, they are still, they have very committed management and focus on social goals. And their entry point after this analysis of weaknesses and strengths and getting better understanding what they want to achieve was to focus on really making it clear for themselves across the institution who are the clients they want to reach and what are the appropriate strategies in terms of product, geographical outreach, and all supporting systems inside the institution to really make this happen in reality, not only on paper, on their mission, their business plan. An example of such MFI, next slide please, is as a credit for Azerbaijan. Through this process of social performance management, really refocus its growth strategy to rural areas. They used to focus more on peri-urban and while they've been discussing the emission and doing social audit, they realized that while they were trying hard, there were great tools the industry have developed, and there are really many out there, and Laura has presented them in the morning, and they are accessible. Really the key challenge or the key success factor is the leadership within the institutions. I mean, we don't, as humans, we don't want to change. I mean, this is natural, and organizations are even, you know, the collection of more humans that don't want to change. So the question is, you know, whether we have enough leadership in ourselves as executive directors, president of the board.